Hi, I'm Alex. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Filming a video on my camera, which I have not done in the longest time, so it feels super weird. If you see me looking to the side, that's where my viewfinder is, and I just haven't had it in a while. Today we're filming a book video, which I have not done in forever, so I'm super excited to do that. But I wanted to talk about 24 books that I want to read in 2024. Some of these are new releases. A lot of them are just books that have been on my TBR for a really long time that I want to prioritize reading next year. And if you missed it in my last vlog, I put in a little clip of us announcing that I'm pregnant, which I think plays a big role in this list because I really just want to prioritize reading things that I want to read. I'm going to have a lot less time to read, so I want to make sure I'm reading what I want. So I'm going to start with the new releases. The first one is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Do I know what this is about? No. Is the cover cute? Yes. Is it written by Emily Henry, so I'm going to buy it anyways? Yes. Easy as that. The second one is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Again, no clue what this is about. I'm sure it's some kind of feminist romance. I always love her adult romance books, and I can't wait. A new auto-buy author that was added to my list in 2023 is Abby Jimenez. So her new book, Just for the Summer, has made it to number 3 on this list. I have one book left in her backlog that I am waiting for the library hold for. I've been waiting for so long for it, but that's fine. So I'm excited to have another book from her to read. Next book on here is The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. It's the third book to The Housemaid, so it goes The Housemaid's Secret, and then The Housemaid is Watching. I don't know what she's going to do with this because honestly the plot in the second book already got a little bit repetitive, but we'll see. I usually love Frida's writing, although some of the beginning books were a little rough. So I have confidence that this one will be good. The next book on here is book number 5 is Daydream by Hannah Grace. Have I read Wildfire yet? No, but I do want to read it soon. This is the third book in the Maple Hills series. So it's Icebreaker, Wildfire, and then Daydream. It's Henry's book, which I know like everyone is the most excited for. And then the last new release that's on here is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. I was a big fan of the Off-Campus series, especially Hannah and Garrett, and reading The Graham Effect was just so fun for me, getting to be back in that like couples world. So I'm really excited for The Dixon Rule. I think it'll be very good. Now, there are books that obviously have not been released yet that if they get a release date, then I will be picking up, such as if Rebecca Yarros decides to put out book 3 in the Empyrean series. I will be reading that for sure. And if Sarah J. Maas somehow whips out 2 books next year and gives us book 6 for ACOTAR, I'll be all over that one too. I highly doubt that that will happen, but it would be nice. It's like that TikTok sound. It's like it would make a good gift for Christmas. So Christmas 2024, new ACOTAR book, please. I'm begging you. Okay, moving into books that have been on either my TBR cart for a long time or like my mental TBR for a long time, starting with Crescent City. Do I know the actual names of those books? No, I don't. I know one of them is House of Sky and Breath, I think, but I don't actually know. I want to read all 3. I know the new one comes out in January. I'm probably not going to be caught up by then. I am almost done with Throne of Glass. I am so close to finishing the tandem right now, and then just have to read, well, I still have to read Assassin's Blade because I skipped it in the beginning, but I have to read that in Kingdom of Ash, and then I'm done. So that'll be exciting to get through that. But then I want to pick up Crescent City. One of my friends has been begging me to read it for so long, so we'll see how that goes for me. The next book on here is The Atlas Six by Alvy Blake. I started reading this when I did my Dark Academia reading vlog, and I think I talked about it a little bit, but then my hold for Secret History came, so I kind of put it to the side to read The Secret History by Donna Tartt and never picked it back up, but I was really enjoying it at the time, so it's something I definitely want to get back into this year. The next book on here is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I have the list sitting in front of me if you're wondering what I'm looking down at. But Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, I feel like I could use a good little dystopian novel. So that is one that is 100% on my list. Although I think I've owned it for 3 years and I still haven't touched it. So we'll see if 2024 is finally the year. The next book on here is The Long Game by Elena Armas, another author that I discovered I really liked in 2023. I read The Spanish Love Deception and rated it 5 stars. I read The American Roommate Experiment and also rated that very well. So I bought The Long Game on its release day. Haven't touched it though. We'll see when I get to it. The next book on here is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I'm supposed to be buddy reading this with a friend. I finally went and picked up a copy of it today during the Barnes & Noble 33% off hardcover sale. So I'm super excited to get to that. I know everyone loves it, but now I have to wait for my friend to have her hold from the library ready. The next book on here is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehrer. All I know about this book is it sci-fi? Fantasy? I don't know. It'll be a nice YA palette cleanser, I think. I bought the special edition of it with the red spray painted edges. Was super excited to read it at the time, but now it's been 3 months, whenever it came out, and I still haven't picked it up. So definitely want to get to that next year. I'm out of breath. Being pregnant is hard. Please hold. If you're wondering why I haven't really been filming videos, this is why. The next book on here is The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I know they have another book coming out next year. I don't know that I'm thrilled to read that one, but The True Love Experiment does sound really interesting to me, so I definitely want to pick that one up. The next one on here is Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood, so a second Allie Hazelwood book. I think she's the only one with 2 books on here. But came out a while ago, I guess on November 7th, and I still haven't picked it up even though it's sitting on my shelf. So I will have to do that in 2024. I've heard such good things about it. I know people absolutely have been raving about it, and it's her first YA book, so I'm curious how it'll be. The next one on here is a very different change of pace from Check and Mate, and it's Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I would never ever in a million years recommend these books to anybody, but I thought the writing in Haunting and Hunting Adeline was so good. It was so captivating, and I really, as much as I needed to take breaks because of trauma, enjoyed reading The Cat and Mouse Duet, so I really want to read Does It Hurt next year. I've heard people love it, and a lot of people like it better than The Cat and Mouse Duet, so we'll see how that goes. Next book on here is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. I think this was on my 23 books to read in 23 reading list, and I did not get to it, so I'm hoping to do that in 2024. And then the next one is The Rom-Con by Devon Daniels, which Larry Reed's just read in her 24-hour reading challenge, and it sounded really cute and funny, and sometimes you just need one of those books. Next one on here is Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I think it's Gillian McAllister is the author. I'll put it here. I don't remember 100%, and this was the only one I didn't write the author down for, but it sounds like a really interesting mystery thriller, and I always need a couple of those for when I'm in the mood for them. It's been sitting on my TBR cart for a while, so I definitely want to get to that. Speaking of books that have been on my TBR cart for a very, very long time, the first picture I ever posted on my book Instagram had Caraval in it. still haven't picked it up. So I'd really like to read Caraval next year. It's something that I want to read, like the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, but I, for my own brain, need to read the Caraval trilogy first. So I definitely want to read that next year. And then today is December 26th, meaning that Ruthless Vows is officially out. So I definitely want to read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross next year. Next one on here is a book that I had never heard of, but I found like looking through the shelves at Barnes, which is The Program by Suzanne Young. I think I've talked about it in a video, but it's about a like dystopian world in which everybody is depressed, so they're sort of sent for lobotomies and to like a camp to try to fix their depression, which sounds really interesting. I don't know that it's a book that's for everybody, and I'm sure it has a list of trigger warnings, but I do want to read it. And then 2 books that I feel like everybody's been talking about. The first one is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I want to read the whole Chestnut Springs series, but I own Flawless. We're going to start with Flawless. And then Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I've read all of her backlog. I can't believe I haven't picked this up yet, honestly. It's been sitting on my Kindle Unlimited for almost 2 months, so I really want to prioritize reading that, honestly, probably in January of 2024. And the last book on this list is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. If you've read Six of Crows, you know it ends on a cliffhanger that is pretty frustrating, and I think Leigh Bardugo does this in all of her books. She definitely did it in Ninth House and Hellbent, that it ends on like just enough of a cliffhanger that you're like, all right, I need to pick that up. So Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo is book number 24, last but certainly not least. So those are my 24 books that I'm prioritizing reading in 2024. If you have any more that you think I should add to my like overall reading list for the year, I'd love if you commented them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.